You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. A task force from Wisconsin is helping with Hurricane Helene relief. Members of Wisconsin Task Force 1 have specialized training and capabilities which can deploy in Wisconsin and beyond. 16 members of the Swiftwater Rescue Team left over the weekend to help with search efforts in North Carolina. They come from 8 fire departments from across the state. Donald Trump returns to Milwaukee for the first time since accepting the Republican nomination for president. Stuart J. Waddles reports.
Trump delivered a subdued speech focusing on educational matters, particularly criticizing the low reading proficiency rates in Milwaukee public schools. The former president also addressed recent events in the Middle East.
I think even Iran would have been in the Abraham Accords. Ultimately, it would have been great for everybody, and you would have had peace in the Middle East.
Stuart J. Waddles, Civic Media News.
Kamala Harris campaigns in the Fox Valley tomorrow. The Wisconsin Democratic Party is outraising the state Republican Party at a rate of almost 4-1 this year. The Democrats have raised nearly $20 million, while the state GOP has pulled in not quite $5 million. Both parties filed their September fundraising reports this week. Big donations are driving the numbers for both parties. Democrats and Republicans in Wisconsin have picked new presidential electors. 10 Wisconsin Republicans posed as fake electors for Donald Trump 4 years ago. They agreed to a settlement last year that called for them to admit Joe Biden won. They also agreed not to serve as electors in any election involving Trump. A new report on agribusiness consolidation calls for better enforcement of antitrust laws. The report's author is Basil Musharbish.
It doesn't have to be this way. These firms are smart and powerful. They've executed strategies over decades. The U.S. government allowed it because we made policy decisions not to enforce the antitrust laws. We can take action to fix that.
The report finds decades of mergers have reduced competition, leading to higher costs for farmers and consumers. The risk of wildfires is higher than normal this week. The Department of Natural Resources is asking people to check for fire danger levels before doing any outdoor burning. The forecast calls for dry, windy weather. The main cause of wildfires this time of year is burning brush and leaf piles. Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WRCE News, I'm Joanne Krulotz. Z-Best Foods Incorporated in Green Bay is issuing a voluntary Class 1 recall for its Chili John's meat sauce and Chili John's chili with spaghetti and beans Super Bowl products. The affected products were distributed to wholesale distributors and may still be on retail store shelves throughout Wisconsin. The affected products carry the Wisconsin Mark of Inspection for Establishment number 545 and includes Chili John's meat sauce in 8-ounce and 16-ounce containers with lot codes of 2551, 2621, and 2631. Present on the container, and Chili John's chili with spaghetti and beans Super Bowl in 14-ounce containers, all flavors, with lot code 2661 present on the container. No illnesses have been reported as a result of consuming these products. Consumers who have these products should discard them. For questions about this recall, call 920-336-8713. A settlement agreement has been reached with Wisconsin Department of Corrections under Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The settlement will help ensure that incarcerated individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing have equal access to WDOC's programs, services, and activities, including educational, counseling, medical, recreational, and prison employment programs. The agreement resolves the department's investigation into complaints that WDOC did not provide auxiliary aids and services such as sign language interpreters to incarcerated individuals with hearing disabilities. WDOC will implement a process that begins at intake and continues throughout incarceration to identify and accommodate inmates with hearing disabilities, develop individualized communication assessment and plans, provide training on the ADA to staff, and pay $15,000 to compensate 3 incarcerated individuals who were harmed. The Richland Center Kiwanis will be hosting one of its famous pancake suppers this evening from 5 to 7. Your free will offering helps keep children warm over the winter. This is Kiwanis member Steve Kolstad.
We generally donate someplace between 125 and 170 coats to kids in need in our community through the Coats for Kids program, and this is one of those major sources of money for that particular program. We always take a goodwill offering because we really don't want anybody to be turned away. You know, somebody comes and they only have a few dollars, or even if they don't have any money, they go through the line and get fed.
The Richland Center Kiwanis Pancake Supper again will be held this evening from 5 to 7 at the Richland Center Community Center. The Wisconsin DNR wants the public to check the fire danger on its website before conducting any outdoor burning activities. There is a potential for increased fire activity due to dry weather and gusty winds. The Kickapoo Reserve Dam Challenge Triathlon challenges participants to compete among the rugged hills of scenic southwestern Wisconsin's rural countryside and the Kickapoo Valley Reserve. This year's challenge will be held this Saturday. The river portion of the dam challenge is 7 river miles with the current on the Kickapoo River. Bring your own boat or race rentals are available. The bike route takes you through the valleys and over the ridge through Amish country. This is not a closed course. The race shares 14.5 miles of country roads with vehicle traffic. The 3.5-mile trail run course of the dam challenge uses natural surface trails through woodlands and prairies. A pre-race pasta supper will be held Friday with the Dam Challenge Triathlon Saturday. More information can be found at kickapoovalley.wi.gov/events and click on the Dam Challenge link. The deadline to register is today. And that's what you need to know. I'm Joanne Krulotz.
The Brewers face elimination tonight. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kuska with sports, filling in for Mike Clemens. The Brewers will play the Mets today in Game 2 of the best-of-3 wildcard round. Yesterday, the Mets defeated the Brewers 8-4, retiring the final 17 batters to take the win. Manager Pat Murphy said the Brewers will need to respond today after not being able to put anything together late in yesterday's game.
This team has responded in all those. Remember, the Dodgers beat the daylights out of us twice. We responded. The Yankees beat the daylights out of us twice. We responded. I think we'll respond.
Willie Adames says the Brewers know it's all on the line tonight.
Like we said all year, we are on down tech. We're going to come out and give the 100% out there on the field, and we got to win or we go home. So the mentality is we got to win no matter what. We got to figure out a way to win and do our best.
First pitch is after 6:30 p.m. If the Brewers win, they'll play a decisive Game 3 tomorrow evening. The Green Bay Packers will try to bounce back this week as they play the LA Rams on Sunday after losing last weekend to the Minnesota Vikings. Jordan Love is expected to make his second straight start after missing 2 games with a sprained MCL. Kickoff this Sunday against the Rams is after 3 p.m. on Sunday. The Milwaukee Bucks announced their 2024 training camp roster on Monday. Camp begins tomorrow for the Bucks. Filling in for Mike Clemens, I'm Jimmy Kuska with Civic Media Sports.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Things will not get any easier for Sean Diddy Combs. His enemies are coming out of the woodwork, and that includes 50 Cent. The rapper teamed up with Netflix to make a docuseries about Combs' sex scandal. 50 Cent's real name is Curtis Jackson, and he said he's been warning people about Combs for years. He followed up a social media post about the docuseries with a picture of baby oil in reference to the thousands of bottles that were found during an FBI raid on Combs' homes in Miami and Los Angeles. Proceeds from the docuseries will go to assist victims of sexual abuse. FIFA has announced that the World Cup will have its first halftime show. The World Cup in 2026 will be at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey and follow in the footsteps of American football, or the NFL, with a championship game halftime show. International advocacy organization Global Citizen just signed a 4-year partnership with FIFA and will produce the show. The group's mission is to end extreme poverty. Okay, DC Comics fans, there is yet another movie in the pipeline. A film that will feature Batman villains Deathstroke and Bane is being developed. The Hollywood Reporter says the project is in the early stages. How early? There is only a writer and producer attached. The studio is in the middle of its search for a director and actors. Update your resumes. We haven't heard much from Haley Joel Osment lately, although he does turn up from time to time. As an 11-year-old, the actor was Oscar nominated for his role in The Sixth Sense opposite Bruce Willis. Despite his tender age, the two became friends, and Osment said the friendship with Willis lasted long after the shooting, as Willis would call to check in on him from time to time over the years. Willis was diagnosed with dementia 2 years ago at the age of 69. Inside Out is the gift that keeps on giving to its fans and obviously to those who created the film. Disney has announced the film received 31 million plus views in its first 5 days of release on Disney+. According to Variety, this is the biggest premiere for a film on Disney Plus since 2021's Encanto. The film is the highest-grossing animated film of all time and so far the highest-grossing film of 2024. Frankie Valli is speaking up. Not on stage, he's been lip-syncing there. After rumors that Valli has been forced on stage to perform, the 90-year-old legend says he is there of his own choosing because he loves to perform. In addition to seemingly going through the motions, Valli has looked frail in concert videos that have gone viral. Valli released a statement to People.com clarifying that he is not being forced on stage, although the statement was in print, so there was no way to tell if it was lip-synced. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Mostly sunny today. We'll get to around 71 for a high this afternoon. The wind out of the southwest at 10 to 20, a little gustier by late this afternoon. Tonight, clear, breezy, 49 tomorrow. Sunshine, 76 by Friday. It will be sunny with a high right around 70. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 41.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.